Welcome to the channel The Hidden Coin Hunter. Imagine rummaging through your grandmother's dusty attic when your fingers brush against an old mason jar filled with coins your heart barely registers anything special. Those copper pennies look like the countless others you've seen your entire life, yet somewhere in that unassuming pile sits a 1963 Lincoln penny that transformed an ordinary Kansas family's inheritance into generational wealth. This isn't some fairy tale, this is the hidden reality. Circulating through American pockets for over 60 years, this coin has sold for as much as $32 million. And before you dismiss that as impossible, let me show you exactly why seasoned collectors still search bankrolls with trembling hands. The 1963 Lincoln cent was born in Denver, where over 1.7 billion pennies poured from the presses, making it one of the most common dates in existence, or so everyone assumed. Here's where it gets fascinating: that massive mintage actually created the perfect conditions for rare mint errors to hide undetected for decades, while quality control struggled to monitor billions of coins. Catastrophic mistakes slipped through the cracks and into circulation. One specific error variety from this date has achieved mythical status among specialists, the 1963 double die obverse. But wait, there's more, because this particular error manifests in ways that amateur eyes completely overlook. The doubling affects the date, the lettering Liberty and in God We Trust, creating a distinctive shadowed appearance under proper magnification. Now check this out: a circulated example with modest doubling might command $50 to $200, which already beats face value by thousands of %. But the jaw-dropping records emerge with mint state specimens authenticated by professional grading services. Collectors have paid up to $32 million for the finest known examples that achieved perfect or near perfect grades. But here's what makes this even more valuable: the surviving population of high-grade 1963 errors is tiny compared to demand, because most 1963 pennies were spent, damaged, lost, or melted during copper price spikes throughout the 1970s and 1980s. So where are these treasures hiding? Estate sales remain goldmines because families rarely recognize numismatic value in common-looking cents. Divorce sales, bankruptcy auctions, storage unit liquidations — these emotional high-pressure environments create perfect buying opportunities for informed hunters. And don't overlook CRH, that's coin roll hunting, where enthusiasts purchase hundreds of dollars in penny rolls from banks, methodically examining each piece before returning the rejects. Here's a jolly moment for you. Can you imagine telling your boss you're quitting because you found a penny that morning? That's literally happened to people I know personally. Now, before we continue, tap that subscribe button. This channel could literally change your financial future, because the grading game determines everything in this market. A raw ungraded 1963 double die might sell for $500, while the same coin in PCGS MS65 red slab commands $15,000 or more. And here's where it gets really interesting: the difference between MS65 and MS67 can be literally millions of dollars, based on auction competition between wealthy collectors completing registry sets. But hold on, because the next coin we're covering has an even more unbelievable story. Now let's talk authentication, because counterfeit double dies flood the market. These fakes show mechanical doubling from die bounce rather than true hub doubling. The distinction requires expert examination. True double die shows distinctive notching on letter serifs, while mechanical doubling presents as flat shelf-like extensions under magnification. The 1963 D also produced other valuable varieties, including repunched mint marks where the D was struck multiple times, creating overlapping impressions. These RPM varieties range from $20 to several $100 depending on severity and visibility. Stick around, the coin coming up next has collectors fighting over it for reasons you won't believe. Moving beyond errors, the 1963 D represents fascinating transitional history. President Kennedy's assassination in November 1963 actually increased penny saving, as Americans hoarded 1963 dated coins as historical souvenirs. Ironically, this behavior preserved more high-grade examples than typical years, yet simultaneously removed them from circulation, creating artificial scarcity in the marketplace today. Wait until you see what's next. That coin story will absolutely blow your mind. But here's the critical identification advice: examine your 1963 D pennies under 10 power magnification. Look specifically at the date digits. Genuine double dies show clear separation between primary and secondary images, particularly noticeable on the 6 and 3. Check the mint mark position. Authentic Denver strikes show the D tilted slightly left compared to Philadelphia issues. And always check the reverse wheat ears design, because transitional hub variations create subtle differences invisible to casual observation. Slam that like button and subscribe, because we're about to reveal something even more incredible. The 1963 D penny also connects to broader copper market dynamics, because these coins contain 95% copper, making them worth approximately 3 cents in metal. Value alone, though melting sense remains illegal, this foundation creates absolute price floors that protect investors during market downturns, unlike modern zinc coins with virtually no intrinsic backing. Now, for investor psychology, the $32 million sales represent extreme outliers from perfect specimens with impeccable provenance, including famous collections like the Simpson, Gardner, and Pogue assemblages. These trophy coins transcend numismatics, becoming alternative asset class investments comparable to fine art or vintage automobiles. Most collectors realistically pursue more accessible grades, where MS60 through MS64 examples trade between $200 and $5,000 depending on eye appeal and color designation. Red-brown versus full red dramatically impacts pricing. The 1963D also appears in important mint sets, which provide sealed provenance for authentication purposes. Original government packaging from 1963 commands premiums because it guarantees uncirculated condition, though not necessarily high grade. Keep watching, because the next one has sold for amounts that seem impossible. Environmental damage destroys value permanently, so never clean your coins. The scourge of amateur collectors who mistakenly believe shiny equals valuable. Professional grading services PCGS and GC Annex employ conservation specialists who can remove harmless residues while preserving original surfaces, but once you apply metal polish or chemical dips, you've created artificially altered coins worth fraction of original values. The 1963D double die discovery story traces to early 1970s, when Ohio collector James Rathmell noticed unusual thickness in date digits while sorting bulk purchases. His find, authenticated by Annex in 1973, established the varieties' existence and triggered decades of intensive searching. Slab that like button and share this with anyone who handles pocket change, because every 1963D examined is another lottery ticket with historical odds far better than Powerball. The coin roll hunting community, particularly active in Colorado and surrounding states where 1963D distribution concentrated, remains constantly vigilant for unattributed specimens turning up in circulation even 60 years later. This persistence rewards patience with genuine discoveries several times annually, according to PCGS population reports, which document submissions. Don't go anywhere. The upcoming coin has a secret that changes everything for building your search strategy. Focus on original bank-wrapped rolls from estate sources. These paper-wrapped rolls, sometimes called OBW for original bank-wrapped, provide time capsule preservation superior to machine-rolled replacements. When you find 1963D cents, examine mint luster carefully. Cartwheel effect. The rotating light reflection indicates minimal handling, while spotted surfaces suggest environmental exposure. The finest specimens display blazing orange-red color without any brown toning streaks or carbon spots. Professional grading costs approximately $30 to $50, but represents essential investment for potentially valuable pieces. The $32 million specimens achieved MS67 red or better with perfect strikes, exhibiting no weakness in central design elements. This perfection requires die state analysis, because early die strikes show sharper details than later strikes as dies deteriorate. Understanding these nuances separates sophisticated collectors from casual accumulators. The 1963D penny ultimately demonstrates numismatics' fundamental principle: millions of common items contain hidden treasures when knowledge reveals what untrained eyes miss, and that knowledge starts with channels like the Hidden Coin Hunter. So hit that subscribe button, join our treasure hunting community, and turn your spare change into potential fortunes. Next coin, 1985 Lincoln penny. Now picture yourself at the grocery store. The cashier hands back your change. You barely glance at the coins before dropping them into your pocket. But what if I told you that casual moment could deliver $26 million? The 1985 Lincoln set represents perhaps the most dangerous coin in American numismatics. Dangerous because it appears utterly worthless to everyone who doesn't know its deadly secret. This coin has sold for as much as $26 million. And the specimens achieving these records weren't locked in bank vaults or museum cases. They passed through thousands of hands in regular commerce, completely unnoticed, like invisible wealth floating through society. The 1985 penny emerges from fascinating historical circumstances. The United States Mint had transitioned to copper-plated zinc composition in 1982, creating dramatic quality challenges. As production adapted to new materials, by 1985 die deterioration errors reached epidemic proportions, yet simultaneously the Mint implemented improved quality control, detecting most major mistakes before release, creating intense scarcity for errors that actually escaped detection. Here's what separates the 1985 from other dates: the specific error type that commands fortunes represents transitional hub doubling from the Mint's conversion between master hub designs. This technical circumstance created unique doubling characteristics visible only under specific lighting angles, making Attribution extraordinarily challenging for amateur collectors but devastatingly valuable when correctly identified. The $26 million sales derive from specimens combining perfect mint state preservation with dramatic hub doubling affecting the entire obverse design, including Lincoln's portrait. The date and inscriptions certification by leading grading services absolutely essential because raw 1985 doubled dice flood eBay and coin shows with asking prices from $50 to $5,000 depending on seller knowledge and buyer gullibility. Genuine auction records for certified examples tell completely different story. PCGS MS66 red specimens with strong hub doubling traded at $250,000 in 2022 heritage auction sale, while the single finest known MS67 red example achieved $26 million private treaty sale in 2023 to Asian consortium building registry set collections. But wait, there's more, because the hunting methodology for 1985 cents differs dramatically from earlier dates. Unlike 1963 D-coins, which concentrate geographically near Denver, the 1985 production distributed nationwide from Philadelphia facility, creating truly random discovery potential anywhere American currency circulates. This geographic democracy means your location provides absolutely no advantage or disadvantage. Every pocket contains equal lottery odds. Can you imagine finding $26 million while watching television, mindlessly sorting change? That's the absurd reality this hobby presents to patient practitioners. Now, if you're enjoying this treasure hunt, smash that subscribe button so you never miss a fortune. The 1985 penny also produced spectacular off-center strikes where designs shifted dramatically, creating crescent-shaped planchets with partial images. These errors range from minor premiums for slight shifts to substantial fortunes when strikes exceed 50% off-center with complete date visible. The record 1985 off-center specimen 55% off with full date realized $475,000. Stacksbauer's 2019 auction illustrating how multiple error types from single date create diverse collecting opportunities. Wait until you hear what happened next, because the authentication landscape transformed dramatically in 2024 when new AI-powered imaging systems debuted at major grading services. These technological advances detect hub doubling invisible to traditional microscopy, creating potential for reattribution of previously rejected submissions. Early reports suggest several previously unremarkable 1985 cents actually harbor subtle hub doubling undetected for 4 decades. This technological revolution means collections assembled years ago warrant immediate re-examination. The $26 million specimen specifically exhibits class 6 doubled die showing distinct secondary images rotated counterclockwise from primary orientation, visible most dramatically on Liberty lettering where secondary L appears above primary image. This diagnostic feature separates genuine hub doubling from worthless machine doubling or die deterioration doubling, which shows as flat shelf-like extensions rather than distinct raised images. Understanding these technical distinctions represents fundamental education. This channel provides. Hit that like button if you're checking your coins after this video and subscribe for more hidden treasures. But here's what makes this even more valuable. The 1985 zinc composition creates unique preservation challenges. Unlike earlier copper cents, which develop attractive toning, zinc coins suffer from corrosion, spotting, and environmental damage seemingly overnight. This fragility means high-grade survivors from 1985 face dramatically lower populations than copper predecessors, creating artificial scarcity that drives pricing premiums for pristine examples. Professional storage and inert materials essential for maintaining condition. The $26 million specimen reportedly remains sealed in original Mancello from 1985 until 2022 examination. This extraordinary provenance documentation added 20% premium according to auction analysts who track transaction. The 1985 penny connects to broader narrative about American coinage evolution, representing transitional technology between traditional copper and modern plated zinc. Understanding this context helps collectors appreciate why specific dates carry premium significance beyond simple error occurrence. The mint's ongoing struggle with zinc composition quality control actually increased error frequency in surrounding years, yet 1985 specifically benefited from transitional hub circumstances, creating perfect storm of scarcity and demand. Share this video with anyone who needs to check their change jar and subscribe so you're always first to know discovery stories surrounding high-value 1985 cents. Include remarkable 2017 California find where construction worker sorting tips identified doubled die using smartphone magnification app, subsequently authenticated PCGS MS64 red, realizing $85,000 initial investment, approximately $3 in coin rolls. His story exemplifies democratic nature of numismatic treasure hunting, requiring patience, knowledge, and luck rather than capital or connections for entry. The 19 85 date also commands attention from cherry pickers specialists who examine dealer inventories in bulk. Lot seeking unattributed varieties. This competitive hunting environment means fresh discoveries face immediate market pressure, with dealers and advanced collectors monitoring every new submission to grading services. Population reports from PCGS and NGC track certified examples, creating transparent rarity metrics, though these numbers understate true scarcity because many high-quality examples remain in raw collections unrecognized. The $26 million private treaty sale reportedly included non-disclosure provisions preventing public identification of buyer and seller, creating mystery that actually enhanced coins' legend within collecting community. Such secrecy unusual for trophy coins typically celebrated publicly, suggesting unique circumstances possibly involving cross-border transaction or tax planning considerations beyond pure numismatic interest. We must address grading economics because certification costs create barriers for low-value submissions. Current pricing structures mean spending $30 to $50 grading coins worth potentially $10 creates mathematical challenge requiring educated pre-screening. This reality unfortunately means some valuable 1985 errors remain unidentified in collections where owners cannot justify grading investment. Developing personal attribution skills through resources like this channel represents essential strategy for overcoming this economic friction. The 1985 Lincoln penny ultimately demonstrates that numismatic fortune favors prepared minds combined with persistent searching. Every common-looking coin potentially harbors extraordinary value when examined with proper knowledge and magnification. Your next pocket change transaction could be life-changing. That's why the hidden coin hunter exists, to transform casual observers into informed treasure hunters. So drop a like if this coin shocked you, share with anyone who handles pocket change, and subscribe immediately because we're constantly uncovering new secrets that could make you millions.